The Galactic Council Hall was silent. It was the largest structure ever built in space, floating above a dead star. Light from thousands of holographic symbols filled the air. Hundreds of alien species sat in a wide circle, their eyes fixed on one place, the human delegation. They were alone. No guards. No weapons. Just one human standing calmly at the center of the hall. The council speaker, a tall insect-like being, spoke first. Its voice echoed through the chamber. "Humanity of Earth," it said. "You stand accused of violating galactic combat law." A massive hologram appeared. It showed destroyed fleets, broken space stations, and silent battlefields. Alien ships drifted like metal graves in the dark. Murmurs spread through the council. The speaker continued. "You used illegal tactics. You ignored surrender signals. You destroyed command ships first. You ended wars before negotiations could begin." The human did not speak. He simply stood there, hands behind his back, listening. Another council member leaned forward. "Every spacefaring race follows these laws. They exist to limit suffering." More images appeared. Entire alien fleets wiped out in minutes. Strategic strikes. Perfect timing. "This is not war," one alien said. "This is annihilation." All eyes returned to the human. They expected anger, fear, excuses. Instead, the human smiled. It was small, calm, almost polite. The temperature in the chamber seemed to drop. Several alien delegates shifted in their seats. Some felt something they did not like. It was not rage. It was not threat. It was confidence. The speaker noticed it too. "Why do you smile, human?" it asked sharply. "You face judgment." The human raised his head slowly. His eyes were steady. "Not proud. Not scared. Please," he said. "Continue." The council paused. This was not the reaction they expected. One elder species spoke next, its voice old and tired. "Humanity entered the galaxy only 2 centuries ago. Yet you fight as if you have studied war for thousands of years." The human nodded once. Another alien added, "You turned defeat into victory too quickly. You adapted faster than any species before you." The smile remained. The speaker's tone hardened. "You broke our laws of combat. Laws that protect all life." The human finally spoke again. "May I ask a question?" he said. The chamber hesitated. Then the speaker allowed it. "Ask." The human looked around the vast hall. "Where were these laws?" he asked calmly. "When our colonies were burned." Silence fell. The holograms flickered. "Where were these laws?" he continued. "When our civilian ships were destroyed before we even knew your rules existed." No one answered. The human took a slow breath. "We asked for peace," he said. "We asked for talks. We waited." The smile slowly faded, not into anger, but into something colder. "And we learned," he said, "that survival does not wait for permission." A low tension spread through the council. The speaker raised its voice. "This is not justification. Law is law." The human nodded. "Yes," he said softly. "Your law." The words echoed. Several species realized something then. Humanity had listened. Humanity had learned. And humanity had chosen a different path. The speaker leaned forward. "You will answer for this." The human smiled again, this time wider. "That," he said, "depends on which laws you think apply to us." The hall went completely silent, and for the first time since humanity joined the galaxy, the council felt afraid. The silence inside the Galactic Council Hall did not break easily. After the human's words, no one rushed to speak. The council members looked at each other, unsure of what to say next. For the first time in many cycles, the rules they trusted felt weak. The council speaker straightened its tall body. "The law of the galaxy," it said firmly, "exists to prevent endless destruction." A new hologram appeared in the air. Symbols, charts, and glowing lines filled the chamber. These laws were written after great wars. The speaker continued. Wars that nearly destroyed the galaxy. The human watched quietly. Rule 1, said the speaker. Do not strike command ships first. War must allow control. Rule 2, another council member added. Accept surrender. When a fleet lowers its shields, the battle ends. Rule 3, said a third. No weapon may be used if it risks total extinction. Each rule appeared as light in the air. These laws protect all species, the speaker said. They protect even the defeated. The human remained silent. Several alien delegates nodded. These laws had saved them many times. They believed in them deeply. The speaker turned back to the human. Humanity ignored every one of these rules. The human raised his eyes slowly. He looked at the glowing laws, then at the council. May I respond? He asked. The speaker hesitated, then nodded. The human took one step forward. When our fleets were attacked, he said, no command ship waited. Some aliens shifted uncomfortably. When our colonies sent surrender signals, the human continued. No one answered. The holograms flickered. A reptilian council member spoke sharply. That does not excuse your actions. No, the human agreed calmly. It explains them. The chamber grew tense. The human pointed toward the floating rules. These laws were written by survivors, he said. By those who lived long enough to regret their victories. The words hit hard. You speak as if regret is weakness, the speaker said. No, the human replied. Regret is a luxury. A low murmur spread across the hall. The human's voice remained steady. Humans do not love war. We fear it. That is why we end it fast. An avian delegate tilted its head. Fast or forever? The human met its gaze. If a war can return, he said, then it was not finished. The council exchanged uneasy looks. The speaker raised its voice again. Your methods spread fear. The human nodded once. Fear stops second attacks. That answer chilled the room. One of the oldest council members finally spoke. Your thinking is dangerous. The human did not deny it. So is survival, he said. The hologram slowly faded, leaving the hall dim and quiet. These laws, the human said softly, were never meant for us. The speaker's eyes narrowed. You place yourself above the galaxy? The human shook his head. No, he said. We placed ourselves beneath it. And we learned what falls hardest. Silence returned. The council realized something they had not seen. Before, humanity did not reject the laws out of pride. Rejected them out of experience. The speaker leaned forward. Then what law does humanity follow? The human smiled again, but this time there was no warmth in it. Our own, he said, and the galaxy felt the weight of that answer. Long before the Galactic Council accused humanity, there was a war no one wanted to remember. The human representative stood silent in the great hall, but his mind was far away. He was thinking of the first time humanity met the galaxy with hope and lost it. Humanity's first colonies were small. They were built on quiet planets near empty space. Humans believed the galaxy was vast enough for everyone. They were wrong. The first attack came without warning. Human mining station vanished in seconds. No message. No demand. No law was spoken. Just fire. Earth waited for the Galactic Council to respond. They sent reports. They asked for help. They asked for justice that none came. The laws of the galaxy moved slowly. Too slowly. The attacks continued. Cargo ships were destroyed. Colonies burned. Millions of civilians died before humanity even learned the names of their attackers. The enemy followed the law. They targeted slowly. They allowed retreat. They respected surrender only when it benefited them. For humans, it did not matter. Loss was loss. On Earth, leaders gathered in silence. Not to speak of revenge, but of survival. They studied every battle. Every mistake, every death dot, and they learned something the galaxy had forgotten. War does not care about rules. Humanity changed. They redesigned their fleets. Smaller ships, faster strikes. No warning, no delay. Command ships became targets. Supply lines vanished. Wars that should have lasted decades ended in weeks. The galaxy was shocked. Humanity did not fight to win territory. They fought to remove threats. When an enemy surrendered, humans accepted it, if the danger was truly gone. If not, they did not stop. That was the difference. In one war, an alien fleet raised surrender signals while hidden weapons charged in the dark. Human sensors saw everything. Human commanders did not hesitate. The fleet was destroyed. After that, no enemy tried deception again. Back in the council hall, the human finally spoke. "Our first war taught us a simple truth," he said calmly. "Hope is not a defense." Some council members looked away. "We followed your laws at first," the human continued. "We lost worlds. The hologram changed. It now showed human colonies rebuilt, stronger, armed. We did not become monsters," the human said. "We became careful." An elder council member whispered, "Careful does not mean cruel." The human nodded. "Correct. Cruelty is slow suffering." His voice lowered. "We chose speed." The hall felt heavy. Humanity's wars were short, but they were final. The human looked at the council, his face calm but tired. "We learned what happens when survival depends on others' rules." The speaker said nothing. The human took a breath. "That is why we no longer fight the way you expect." Silence filled the chamber again. The council finally understood. Humanity did not love war. Humanity feared repeating the first one. And that fear had reshaped how humans fought forever. The human stepped back into place. The memory ended, but the warning remained. The Galactic Council had heard the story. They had seen the images. They had listened to the facts. Yet something still did not make sense to them. Why did humans fight the way they did? The speaker leaned forward, its many eyes focused on the human. "Your first war explains your fear," it said. "But fear does not explain your methods." The human stood still, his hands relaxed at his sides. "Then allow me to explain," he said. He did not raise his voice. He did not threaten. That made his words more dangerous. "Humans do not see war as a contest," he began. "We see it as a failure." Several council members shifted. No species had ever spoken like this. "When diplomacy fails," the human continued, "we do not try to prove strength. We try to remove the reason for war." A soft light appeared in the hall, showing human battle records. Fast strikes, clean lines, short timelines. These wars ended quickly, an alien noted. "Too quickly." "Yes," the human agreed. "Because long wars create more enemies." The speaker tilted its head. "Your attacks were overwhelming." "They had to be," the human replied. "Half measures invite revenge." The words settled heavily in the air. The human took a slow breath. "Humans are good at remembering pain," he said. "We pass stories across generations." Images shifted again. Old Earth wars. Cities in ruins. Faces filled with loss. "We learned early," the human said, "that mercy without safety is not kindness." An avian council member spoke carefully. "You believe total victory brings peace." "No," the human corrected. "We believe unfinished wars bring more graves." The room grew colder. The speaker rose slightly. "Your way spreads fear across the galaxy." The human looked up. "Fear of war," he said, "is not a bad thing." Some aliens reacted with discomfort. "Most species avoid war to protect honor," the human continued. "Humans avoid war to protect life." The council fell silent. "You call us aggressive," the human said. But we only act when we are forced. A tall armored delegate crossed its arms. You strike first. The human nodded. When warning means death, the council remembered reports. Human fleets appearing without signal. Battles ending before they began. We do not enjoy this, the human said. We prepare for it. He paused, letting the meaning sink in. Humans build laws around consequence, he added. Not tradition. The speaker's voice lowered. And what is the consequence of your way? The human answered without hesitation. Fewer wars. That answer shocked them. Because no enemy returns, he said simply. The chamber was quiet now. No anger, only understanding mixed with fear. The human looked around the hall one last time. You see brutality, he said. We see prevention. The speaker finally spoke. And if the galaxy refuses to accept this, the human's face did not change. Then the galaxy will learn, he said softly. Why humans fight differently. The words were not a threat, they were a statement, and the council realized something important. Humanity did not want to rule the galaxy. Humanity wanted to make sure it never had to fight again, by any means necessary. The Galactic Council expected anger. They expected threats, demands, or excuses. They did not expect the human to reach into his coat and place a small data disk on the floor. It made no sound. Yet the entire hall felt its weight. This, the human said calmly, is our rulebook. The speaker's eyes narrowed. You admit to creating laws outside the galaxy? The human nodded. We had to. A soft light spread from the disk. Words appeared. Not many, clear, simple. The council leaned forward. These are not laws of conquest, the human said. They are laws of survival. The first rule glowed. Protect civilians. Always. Several council members exchanged looks. This rule surprised them. The second rule appeared. End threats completely. The room grew tense. The third rule followed. Never allow a second strike. Silence filled the hall. These rules are extreme, the speaker said slowly. The human met its gaze. They are honest. The hologram changed again. It showed human ships withdrawing from planets after battle. No occupation. No flags. Only silence. We do not stay, the human explained. When the threat ends, we leave. A reptilian delegate hissed softly. And if the enemy begs for mercy? The human did not answer at first. Then he said, mercy is not words. Mercy is safety. Some aliens looked uneasy. Humanity learned, the human continued, that promises fade. Capabilities do not. He raised his hand, and new images appeared. Alien fleets rebuilt after surrender. Attacking again years later. These wars happened because the threat survived, he said. The speaker spoke carefully. You judge entire species by the actions of a few. The human shook his head. No, we judge systems. The council struggled with the idea. Human rules are short, the human said. Because long rules hide weakness. He looked around the chamber. Your laws try to control war. Ours try to prevent its return. The speaker leaned back. Your methods caused fear across the galaxy. Yes, the human agreed. Fear keeps distance. The words cut deep. One elder council member finally spoke. Your rulebook was written in blood. The human smile disappeared completely. All rulebooks are, he said quietly. The disk dimmed. The human took a slow breath. We did not want this, he said. But we accepted it. The speaker's voice lowered. And if the council rejects your rulebook? The human looked straight ahead. His voice was calm, but final. Then nothing changes, he said. Because these rules are not for you. That answer chilled the room. The human stepped back. These rules, he added, exist whether you approve or not. The Council realized the truth too. Late. Humanity did not ask permission. Humanity did not seek approval. They had already decided how they would survive, and the galaxy was now living under that decision. The Galactic Council Hall had faced many crises before, but never silence like this. After the human finished speaking, no one moved. The glowing stars outside the massive windows felt distant, cold, and small. The council members sat frozen, trapped between law and reality. The speaker was the first to break the silence. The council will now decide humanity's fate. It announced. The word fate echoed heavily. A low murmur spread across the chamber. Alien voices overlapped in confusion and fear. They act without permission. One delegate said, "They ignore galactic law." Another added, "But they end wars." A third whispered. The last words carried weight. The council divided. Quickly. One group demanded punishment. They feared humanity's power and wanted it controlled. Another group urged caution. They remembered human victories and short wars. A third group said nothing at all. They were watching the human. He stood quietly, not moving, not reacting. That made it worse. The speaker noticed it too. "You show no concern," it said. The human answered softly, "Because this decision will not change who we are." The chamber went still again. An elder species spoke with a shaking voice. "Do you understand what judgment means?" "Yes," the human replied. "It means fear." The word struck deep. The speaker's tone sharpened. "You assume too much." The human shook his head. "No," he said. "I recognize it." The council members looked at each other. Many realized the truth at the same time. They were not judging humanity. They were judging their own relevance. The speaker raised a claw. "If we condemn humanity, you will be isolated." The human nodded. "We survived isolation before." A ripple of unease passed through the hall. "If we attack," the speaker continued, "you will be destroyed." The human looked up, his eyes calm. "Then you will prove us right." That answer frightened them more than any threat. An avian delegate spoke carefully. "What does humanity want from the council?" The human thought for a moment. "Understanding," he said. "Not control. Peace?" Another asked. "Yes," the human replied. "But real peace." The speaker leaned forward. "On whose terms?" The human did not hesitate. "On realities." The council struggled with the idea. They had ruled by law for centuries. Humanity ruled by consequence. The speaker lowered its voice. "If we accept your way, the galaxy changes forever." The human nodded. "It already has." The silence that followed was not empty. It was heavy with realization. For the first time, the council understood their fear. It was not fear of human weapons. It was fear of human certainty. The speaker looked around the chamber. Some delegates avoided its gaze. Others nodded slowly. Finally, the speaker spoke again. "The council requires time." The human bowed his head slightly. "Take it," he said. "We will still be here." That calm confidence settled deep into the room. The council adjourned. But no one felt relief. They had delayed a decision, not avoided it. As the human turned to leave, one thought spread among the council like a quiet truth. Humanity was no longer asking to join the galaxy. Humanity was waiting to see if the galaxy could keep up. The Galactic Council gathered one last time. The hall felt different now. Quieter, smaller. The stars outside no longer seemed distant. They felt close, like witnesses. The human representative returned to the center of the chamber. He stood alone, just as before. But this time, no one doubted why he was there. The speaker rose slowly. "The council has reached a decision," it said. Every species listened. "Humanity will not be punished," the speaker continued. "Nor will it be forced to follow galactic combat law." A wave of reaction spread through the hall. Relief, fear, shock. The speaker raised a claw for silence. However, the galaxy will change. The human remained calm. The council recognizes, the speaker said, that humanity does not fight for dominance. The speaker paused. You fight to prevent return. The human nodded once. An elder council member spoke next. Your way is dangerous, it said honestly. But so is pretending. War can be gentle. The words carried truth. The speaker turned to the human. You will share your doctrine. Not as law, as warning. The human thought for a moment. Then he spoke. Humans believe in peace, he said. But peace is not hope. Peace is preparation. The chamber was silent. We do not wish to rule, the human continued. We do not wish to threaten. He looked around the hall. We wish to be left alone. Some delegates looked uneasy. But, the human added, we will not be unprepared again. The speaker lowered its head slightly. A sign of respect. What is humanity's final message to the galaxy? It asked. The human took a slow breath. Do not test us, he said simply. The words were calm, honest, final. He continued. We will follow your laws when they protect life. A pause, and we will follow our own, he finished. When they do not. The council felt the weight of those words. The speaker nodded. Then humanity is recognized as a stabilizing force. Some gasped. Others understood. Humanity was not a threat. Humanity was a line. Cross it. And war ends fast. Respect it. And peace lasts long. The human bowed his head slightly. As long as we remember why we fight, he said. We will not enjoy it. The speaker signaled the end of the session. As the human walked away. The council remained silent, not out of fear, out of understanding. The galaxy had met many warriors. It had met conquerors. It had met destroyers, but this was different. This was a species that feared war enough to end it completely. And as the lights dimmed in the Galactic Council Hall, one truth settled across the stars. Humanity did not break the laws of war. Humanity wrote new ones, and the galaxy would never forget the day it learned why.